Hello and welcome to The Update. I'm Heidi Tiltons. The Ukrainian ambassador says it's important to tap into Aussie mateship to help win the war against Russia. Today marks a year since the invasion started, with Australia sending reconnaissance drones to the region. Ambassador Vasyl Miroshnichenko says the ongoing assistance will help end the conflict.
The question of how long is less important than the question that how Ukraine's victory can be secured. The answer to that is that the more Ukraine can continue to work with our allies, the more we can tap into Aussie mateship, the faster we will achieve victory for Ukraine and for democracy.
The Prime Minister says there's no time to play politics over the voice to Parliament, but he's stopped short of answering any fresh questions about what it will mean. The opposition has been highly critical of the lack of detail around the plan, which will go to a referendum by the end of the year. Anthony Albanese says there are two key things at stake.
Recognition in Australia's constitution of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and a commitment that they should be consulted on matters that affect them. That's what will be before the Australian people. Thanks very much. Thank you.
One of Australia's biggest buy now, pay later services is shutting down. LatitudePay customers will have to continue making payments owed, and their accounts will close automatically once payments are complete. Coles and Woolworths have offered to deal with the fallout of a failed soft plastics recycling scheme. The supermarket giants have offered to help dispose of more than 12,000 tonnes of waste left by the collapse of the Red Cycle program. Under the deal, the retailers would assume control of 32 stockpiles of soft plastics across New South Wales, Victoria and South Australia. A new report has revealed more than 900 people have drowned in rivers, lakes and dams around Australia in the past decade. According to the Royal Lifesaving Society, males made up 80% of the numbers. And rangers have found the remains of a Rottweiler inside a monster crocodile which mauled a man in Far North Queensland this week. A 37-year-old narrowly escaped death after the 4.2-metre Croc lunged at him and his dog while wading through the water near Cairns. The crocodile has been hunted down and killed by Parks and Wildlife officers. In sports, Steve Smith will captain Australia for the final two tests in India after Pat Cummins opted to stay in Australia with his terminally ill mother. Cummins flew home after the Aussies were defeated in the second test due to a serious family illness, but he's since released a statement revealing his mother has gone into palliative care. In AFL practice matches, Richmond has beaten North Melbourne by 2 points. Carlton defeated Collingwood by 10, while the Swans went down 99-54 in their match against the Brisbane Lions. And the Kookaburras have named defender Jeremy Hayward as skipper for the Men's Hockey Pro League tournament starting next week. In entertainment news, it seems not everyone loved Rihanna's Super Bowl performance. More than 100 complaints have been made to the US regulator, with most of them claiming the singer's lyrics and choreography were way too sexualised. Some viewers even compared it to porn. Harry Styles will be legally obliged to take part in New Zealand's census when he's on tour next month. The star is scheduled to perform at Auckland's Mount Smart Stadium the same night as the census. In a cheeky tweet, census organisers have said everyone who is in New Zealand on March 7 needs to be counted, including tourists, visitors and former members of One Direction. And the Queen Consort has appeared to criticise the sensitivity changes to Roald Dahl's books, calling on authors to remain true to their calling. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcast News team, but we'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of The Update.